The question we ask ourselves as judges and magistrates, are we delivering? And how can we prove production? The question depends on the individual courts and the individual presiding magistrates and presiding judges. Mm-hmm. For example, in my court in Nakuru and Eldoret, there has been complaint against us that we are listing too many matters. And Commissioner Sichale confirms by our colleagues, we list 6 appeals, while the ordinary courts list 3 appeals. There has been complaint against us. Why are you listing this? And sometimes 15 applications. Is it possible to standardize these things, or does it depend on individual courts? How can we improve delivery? One way of doing these things, in my view, and having worked in outside stations, is supervision. Mm-hmm. Judges and magistrates need to be supervised. And there are people who are earning huge sums of money, the presiding judges, the registrars of the courts. It shouldn't be left for the Chief Justice to know, maybe after 1 month I am not working. The registrars and the presiding judges should give report to the Chief Justice. Again, and this is very important, there is need for JSC to recruit a registrar in the office of the Chief Justice in charge of productivity to monitor what is happening in Mandera, what is happening in Nairobi, such that the Chief Justice has a direct report. Again, also, and very important, the question we need to ask is, during Gisheru's time, we used to send our metrics every day before 5 o'clock. Can we go back there? Because we are so many, JSC has recruited so many. Has it translated into an output? Has it translated into a positive production? Those are the conversations which we must have. And I think this is what I have been telling people. We have been having colloquium, magistrates, judges, and all judges. In a colloquium, we should only discuss 2 issues. And the 2 issues is productivity and integrity. Mm-hmm. Integrity, because it is very important for Kenyans to have an integrity-free court or a corruption-free court. Mm. And productivity, because without productivity, then Kenyans are not getting value for money. So in our discussions, whether it is a magistrate's colloquium or a judge's colloquium or a small court of the Supreme Court or a court of appeal, we should discuss productivity. And that's why I said, Commissioner, from when I was starting, there is need to send the leadership team to outside Nairobi. Chief Justice should direct, for example, Judge Njoki to go to Mandera and find out whether the magistrate there is performing. Those are my views.
I think your passion around the issue of productivity is palpable. And now I'm tempted, though I was worried in the interest of time, just to get your view on a question I asked an earlier candidate, whether failure to meet performance targets should be treated as a discipline issue. Just your view, briefly.
You know, having been a leader of judges and magistrates, and they're watching me, I don't want to answer that question.
Maybe you can just share with us your view. What do you think? Is it a discipline issue that we should consider for our consideration?
It should be an administrative issue.
It should be an administrative issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge, and I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Sirani.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This is Warsame. Good evening.
Good evening, Commissioner.
You can take a seat.
Yes.
I'm having a challenge with the sound system. Yep. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, having been a commissioner at JSC and also in the leadership of the judiciary, you know that we place a lot of weight on mentorship. What role does mentorship play in ensuring continuity of rule of law and the administration of justice? And how would you measure the success of your mentoring efforts, maybe with specific incidences that you can give us of where you've mentored and what results you may give for that?
Thank you very much. Mentorship is so important to judges and magistrates, especially when a judge is new or a magistrate is new. He needs somebody to hold his hand and directed him in the right direction. The route he takes will determine his future. And I have mentored many judges and magistrates. For example, all the judges who worked under me in the JR became Court of Appeal judges except one.
Will you be...
Except one. And because of the mentorship I have given during the time I worked with them, either as 3-judge or under me, I was also sometimes, most of the time, in charge of the Constitutional Division, because Judge Lanola was who was in charge, was in Arusha most of the time. So the Chief Justice also directed me to be in charge of the Constitutional Review. So all the judges who served under me, both in the JR and in the Constitutional Review, ended up in the Court of Appeal through my mentorship.
So how do you measure your success?
I measure my success because many of the people I mentored, some of them are in this room. I think I can say I have an excellent mentorship qualities.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that. What is the role of emotional intelligence in the life of a judge?
Yes.
And in what incidents would you apply emotional intelligence in your work?
Thank you very much. You are sounding like Professor Mugenda, because that was a permanent question for Professor Mugenda when we were together. Emotional intelligence helps to cool down difficult situations and positions. It is a way of maneuvering difficult circumstances to get a good result out of the position. I have done that many times in the commission and as a judge. I have presided over very difficult cases with my colleagues, and I think through emotional intelligence, we have always achieved a positive result. And the one thing, when you are applying emotional intelligence, you have to apply wisdom. And when you have to apply wisdom, you need a lot of qualities, like you must be patient sometimes, you must be able to diffuse the situation, sometimes making 1 or 2 jokes, such that you keep everybody within par. So, and sometimes, emotional intelligence, when you are dealing with very contentious matters involving contentious advocates, you need a lot of wisdom and a lot of emotional intelligence, and which has helped me in my life as a judge.
Okay.
Yes.
Just to answer you, maybe I sound like Professor Mugenda because I replaced her to represent the public.
Yes.
You have the interest of the public at heart. Now, I will move to some of the feedback we received from the public as part of this process. When we are recruiting, we normally seek feedback from our stakeholders. And we have quite of good things that have been said about you, Judge, and that is commendable. There are concerns that were raised by some people who said your interpersonal skills are wanting in the manner that you're straightforward, and sometimes this rubs people the wrong way, while others felt that they are, once they get used to working with you, then you're very amiable and easy to work with. So I wanted to know, how do you balance your straightforwardness to ensure that you maintain good relations with others at all times?
Thank you very much, Commissioner. One thing I have, and which I always, God has given me. I have a golden heart, which accommodates everybody, no matter his position. I can relate with the T-boys in the court, and I can also relate with the Chief Justice. And we've never had a problem in terms of personal relationship. The problem is one, many people tend to know me, but they don't understand me. But when they understand me, they get the true position of Judge Warsame, which is a man who has a golden heart. I'm not a great judge, but I'm a man who has a golden heart.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, apart from the professional referees and character referees that you provided, I also wish to highlight that we